Things like custom PCs, modular laptops, hot swap custom keyboards, and now hot swappable mice are popping up here and there. I feel like this is actually moving towards a great direction. If one switches were to break, you can easily swap it out without throwing the whole piece of beloved gear. And today, I wanted to feature a mouse that sits in between hot swappable and ready out of the box. This is the HECATE G3M Pro Upgraded, or 升级版 if you call that in Mandarin. Okay, so let's go over the specs first. Weighing at 56 grams, this thing comes with a 3395 sensor, 600 mAh battery, and a maximum polling rate of 1 kHz. Tri-mode connections with a F-switch encoder, and it cost me $30 inclusive of shipping. This mouse also comes with 2 sets of switches. Blue shell pink dot for tactile, and pink dot silent for silent. Unlike many hot swappable mice out there, this mouse doesn't need any component to be taken apart in order for you to change the switches. It can be changed anytime with a simple flick of a finger. The G3M Pro Upgraded is a revised version of the non-upgraded model. The old model had a 300 mAh battery and the new one now has double. Weight-wise, the old one is 63 grams and the new one shaved off about 7 grams. The old model is also a tad bit smaller compared to the new version. They have also shifted the DPI switch from the top to now the bottom. And they also removed the dongle storage. Overall, I think this is a huge improvement. For a mouse that houses 2 sets of switches along with this battery capacity, to be well under 60 grams is somewhat of a black magic. And if you think that they kind of compromise the build quality in order to shave off the weight, no, this is not the case. This thing is built like a brick, like 0 flags, no creaks, no rattle. Among all the budget mice that I bought this year, this has to be in the top 3. Let me confess, the reason why I bought this mouse was mainly because of the color. I'm a huge sucker for translucent red electronic gadgets. But mice in this kind of translucent color usually have issues applying coatings, and the G3M Pro doesn't seem to have any kind of special coating on the shell. It's almost as if this is a raw plastic texture. And it's matte, but it's not the grippiest to be honest. This might be a deal breaker of some of you, but I think if your hands aren't oozing sweat every half a second, this kind of texture feels great to grip. For this mouse, I personally recommend claw grip followed by fingertip grip. Palm grip like me will find this mouse a little uncomfortable to use, mainly because of the narrow curvature at the bottom of the mouse. That said, the angle of the thumb is fairly even, the front and the back, which feels my hand very nicely when I'm doing a palm grip on this mouse. Now let's talk about the buttons and switches on this mouse. The middle click on this mouse has an almost perfect tactile feedback that I've ever felt across any of the mice that I've owned. It does fall on the slightly easier to click side, but because of the comfort groove on the mouse 1 and mouse 2, the chances of you misclicking in the middle click is actually very slim. And I also really like the scrolling experience on this mouse. Well, because I'm technically biased towards F-switch encoders after all. The side clicks were also very tactile. The buttons didn't recess too deeply into the shell. However, the position of the side buttons can be a bit of an issue for those with medium to large hands. While the buttons themselves doesn't sit directly below your thumb, they do touch your thumb. This means 2 things. Dirt and grime will get into the button grooves after some time, and potentially you can cause a misclick. This issue goes away when I'm doing an aggressive claw grip. As for mouse 1 and mouse 2, their tactile option feels very light and easy to click. But the pre-distance can be a little wide if you are clicking anywhere from the middle to the bottom to the tip of the clicks. The silent options, however, was currently my favorite switch by a long margin. They felt a little stiffer to click than their tactile versions, but they have very short travel distance and is extremely spammable. To a certain extent, this feels almost as if you're fiddling with a fidget toy whenever you're clicking these silent switches, and it feels really good. The software of this mouse, unfortunately, is not web-based, and it's pretty basic, with most of the essential settings there and is properly translated. Both wireless options for this mouse are also pretty reliable, which is a bit of a surprise for me, because a number of mice I recently bought have somewhat inaccurate Bluetooth performance. But that said, if you are playing shooter games that require top accuracy, just stick to the dongle mode. And after using this mouse for well over 5 days, mainly on Bluetooth mode, right, I have about 60% battery left. So this is actually pretty impressive. It clearly shows that the mouse can last close to 2 weeks on a single charge. Another great alternatives to this mouse was the RAWM SA-SH01. And overall, I would rate this mouse an 8 out of 10. If you're a claw grip person, this mouse can easily become a 10 out of 10.